Have you ever just wanted to stop pretending? To stop faking that smile while something inside you quietly crumbles? To stop being everyone's safe place when deep down you feel like you're drowning? You're not weak. And no, you're not broken. You're just tired. Tired of holding pain that was never given permission to speak. It's like you've been trained to carry silence, to absorb it, to swallow your needs so deep that even you forgot where they started. But here's what no one tells you. That pain you've been dragging around is not random. It's not bad luck. It's not weakness. It's unconscious. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And that's what's been happening to you. Not once, not twice. Every time, you keep reliving the same hurt, the same betrayals, the same patterns, and wondering why. But listen carefully now, because this changes everything. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again. Not because the world suddenly becomes kinder, but because you finally understand how to stop handing your power over to it. Because what's been breaking you this whole time isn't what happened. It's what it triggered, what it woke up in the parts of you you've been told to hide. And the moment you see that, that's when the healing starts. That's when you begin to reclaim every piece of you that pain tried to silence. Stay with me, we're just getting started. Let me tell you something that most people never realize. It's not what they did that's still hurting you. It's what it awakened. That sinking feeling after someone rejects you, that heavy silence after they ignore your message, that spiral you fall into after a simple conversation. It's not really about them. It's the echo of something much older, something deeper. Your mind hears, "They don't care," but your shadow whispers, "Because you're not worth caring about." See, it's not their voice that breaks you. It's the story your unconscious has been replaying for years, the one you didn't write, but somehow memorized by heart. The one that began long before adulthood, when love felt earned, not given, when being quiet got you praise, when being emotional got you punished, and you learned to adapt, to please, to disappear. Carl Jung put it simply, pain is a reflection of what hasn't been integrated. In other words, what you haven't faced hasn't left. Still here, shaping your relationships, fueling your fears, holding the steering wheel when life swerves. But listen closely now. They didn't create that wound. They just found it. They touched the bruise, but the bruise was already there. You ever wonder why healing feels so hard? Why no matter how much you read, how much you journal, how much you try to stay positive, something inside still aches. It's not because you're broken. It's because you were trained to survive, not to feel. From a young age, you were probably praised for being calm, quiet, well-behaved, not for being honest about your emotions. Crying made people uncomfortable. Anger got you sent to your room. Sensitivity was labeled weakness, so you buried it. You didn't stop feeling, you just stopped showing it. You told yourself, "I'm fine," even when you weren't. You smiled when you were dying inside. And eventually, you forgot what it even felt like to be truly seen. Carl Jung warned us, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That's what's happening now. That unspoken fear, that quiet panic, that urge to pull away before they can hurt you. It's not random. It's a pattern. Not because you're weak, but because no one ever taught you how to feel safely. You were taught how to shut it down, numb it, power through it, but never how to sit with it, to listen to it, to let it move through you without shame. You're not failing to heal. You were simply never shown the way. And that unconscious pain, it didn't leave when you buried it. It's still here, guiding your choices, shaping your beliefs, holding you hostage without you even realizing it. Let me ask you something quietly. What if the version of you that the world sees, the strong one, the capable one, isn't actually you? What if it's just the armor, the perfectionism, the control, the endless caretaking? You didn't choose those things because they felt good. You built them because once, a long time ago, you had to. Carl Jung called it the shadow, not as a villain, but as the parts of you that were never allowed to exist. It's the anger you weren't allowed to feel, the need for love you were shamed for, the sadness you had to swallow because there was no room for it. And slowly, those parts got exiled, shoved into a dark waiting room, hoping one day you'd come back for them. But you didn't. You moved on. You became independent. You became easy to be around. You learned to anticipate other people's needs before they even asked. But do you see what happened? You mistook armor for identity. That hyper-independence, it was born from betrayal. That people-pleasing, a survival strategy to avoid abandonment. That obsession with being good, just a mask to avoid being rejected again. Your shadow isn't a monster hiding under your bed. It's a younger version of you, still hurting, still waiting. And here's the twist most people miss. The shadow isn't your enemy. It's your guide. We romanticize "I'm fine" like it's a badge of honor. But really, it's the most dangerous lie we whisper to ourselves. Because every time you say it, another part of you goes unheard. Another truth gets buried. Another cry gets swallowed. You call it your personality, but it's just pain wearing a costume. You've mistaken coping mechanisms for character. But Jung was clear: real strength doesn't perform. It doesn't need to prove anything. It simply sees. Because true power doesn't come from pretending you're okay. It comes from the courage to admit where you're not. And that's where the armor starts to crack. You've been wearing a mask for so long that you might have forgotten it's there. That strong version of you, the one who never asks for help, the one who keeps pushing forward even when it feels like everything is falling apart, that person wasn't born from authenticity. No, they were born from survival. Survival isn't about thriving. It's about getting through. And so, that version of you, the one who shows up for everyone else, who ignores their own needs, who hides their vulnerability, was built to protect you. It was never meant to be your forever self. But here's the truth no one told you. That mask you've been wearing? It's killing your soul. It's suffocating the real you. You're not losing yourself. You're losing the identity that was pretending to keep you safe. The mask of "I'm fine," it wasn't your true self. It was the shield you built out of necessity. But now, it's the thing that's blocking your freedom. And healing is not about adding more strength. It's not about finding more armor to make you feel safe. Healing happens when you let go of that mask. You won't heal by adding more to the pile. You'll heal by releasing the lie you've been living. The lie that who you are now is all there is. But here's where it gets difficult. Letting go of that false self, it feels like letting go of control. It feels like you're losing your grip on everything that's kept you together. Let me be brutally honest with you. You say you want peace. You say you want to heal. But part of you still clings to the chaos. Why? Because it's familiar. Because it feels like home. You weren't just taught to survive pain, you were taught to need it. It became your rhythm. Your identity was built around it. But now, it's time to see that for what it is. Because you can't move forward while you're still holding on to what's holding you back. And here's the secret. Healing doesn't start by adding more. It starts by letting go of the mask that's been hiding your true self. Individuation isn't about being better. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you've always been, buried under the layers of shame, fear, and expectations. Carl Jung said, "Individuation is the process of integrating all parts of the self. It's the journey of bringing together the parts of you that you've rejected, your light and your shadow, your tenderness and your fire, your shame and your sacredness." And here's the key. You don't heal by trying to make yourself something you're not. You heal by rediscovering all the parts of you that were lost in the noise. That voice in your head that tells you you're too much or not enough. That's not who you are. That's the reflection of a wound that hasn't yet been healed. You see, the path to wholeness isn't about making yourself better. It's about embracing all the pieces of you, even the ones you've been taught to hide. But don't expect the world to celebrate your awakening. The truth is, many people will resist your growth. They won't understand it. They'll try to pull you back into the box you once fit into. And that's okay, because what you're doing isn't for their approval. It's for your own healing. The journey to wholeness, it's messy, it's uncomfortable, and it requires you to face parts of yourself you've spent years avoiding. But this is how you reclaim your power. This is how you stop being controlled by the shadow. And when you step into that truth, that's when your real strength emerges. So don't wait for applause. Don't wait for others to validate your healing. You've already started the most important work, becoming whole. You know, there's a truth most people aren't ready to face. When you stop shrinking to fit into other people's boxes, some people will leave. And here's the thing, that's not abandonment. That's alignment. You didn't lose them. You found yourself. But here's the twist. The ones who leave when you awaken, they weren't really loving you. They were loving the version of you that made them feel safe. The version of you who was willing to be small for their comfort. The moment you step into your truth, their world shakes. And suddenly, you're not what they thought you were. And for them, that's too much to handle. Now, you might feel the loneliness creeping in. But here's the thing. Your soul isn't craving more friends. It's craving truth. It wants authenticity, depth, and connection that comes from being your whole self. Not the version of you that's been shaped by others' expectations. When you awaken to the truth of who you are, the people who are meant to walk with you will find you. And the ones who aren't meant to stay, they'll fade away. And in their place, you'll find something even more valuable. Real, unapologetic connection. But don't expect it to be easy. It's a price you'll pay for becoming real. And here's the catch, it's worth it. Because when you let go of the illusion of needing approval, you finally step into your own power. And that, my friend, is where the magic happens. So don't fear the loss. Fear the cost of staying small. Because your soul knows this. It wants truth more than anything else. Let me tell you something crucial. You will still be triggered. But now you'll understand why. And that understanding, that's the key. It's the thing that breaks the cycle of pain, the loop that keeps pulling you back into the same patterns, the same hurts. You see, most people try to fight their triggers. They resist them, push them away, suppress them. But here's the thing, what you resist persists. Jung said it best, what you accept transforms. The moment you allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment, without running away from it, that's when the transformation begins. The pain no longer has control over you. The fear no longer holds the power it once did. Awareness becomes your shield. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about knowing how to face it, how to integrate it, how to let it be a part of your growth. And trust me, the more you accept and integrate, the less power the world has over you. Because now you are fully conscious of what's happening within you. So, every time you're triggered, instead of reacting, you'll pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what's beneath this? What part of me needs healing? And that question is the doorway to freedom. Now, we're getting to the part you've been waiting for. The part that changes everything. Stay with me. You might be wondering by now, what does it really mean to be untouchable? Is it a state where nothing ever hurts again? No, that's not it. Being untouchable doesn't mean nothing hurts. It means nothing controls you. It means that, yes, you will still feel the sting of betrayal, the ache of loss, the discomfort of rejection. But here's the game changer. You don't collapse. You don't fall into the old patterns of fear, shame, or desperation. Instead, you feel it, acknowledge it, and let it flow through you. And because you no longer resist it, that's what makes you unshaken. You've finally claimed your inner strength. You've built emotional immunity, not by denying your pain, but by understanding it. Not by pretending it doesn't exist, but by allowing it to be a part of your evolution. You see, pain can't own you anymore because you're no longer afraid of it. It doesn't define you. It doesn't control you. It's just something you move through, and you come out stronger each time. It's time. This is where it all shifts. Don't just reflect. Don't just ponder. End with a declaration. Right now, say this aloud and you type in the comment, I return to myself. I am no longer at war. I am whole. This is it. The integration. You don't have to crumble in silence anymore. You can stand in softness, vulnerability, and still not fall. Your house stands now, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. You, my friend, are home. And here's the truth. Let the world do what it will. You are untouchable, not because you've hardened, but because you've awakened. If you made it this far, it's not by accident. It means something in you is already shifting. So subscribe to this channel and like this video. Do it as a declaration, a silent, sacred promise that you're done pretending, that you're ready to return to the real you, the one beneath the pain, beneath the mask, beneath the performance. Now go, live it, not tomorrow, now.